Welcome to another day of Ether Rays. This is the last, or actually post. This is one of the last matches before we closed out this light and dark season. This was a loss. This was a frustrating match because of the terrain. I want to say the ice terrain. Yet again, slowed me to a complete halt. And kind of forced me to almost throw the game in a way that I had not intended, but probably shouldn't be blamed on the terrain itself entirely. I did make a rather large misplay in the positioning of Peony, and essentially wasted her action, which would actually have been very valuable in assisting with clearing the map closer to the end. So I should probably put that caveat in there, but a lot of it did come down to the terrain effect and the counter control that is within it. And also, I don't have a way on this team to cleanse a large, the deadly miasma thing that I kept talking about. So I had to essentially just deal with the terrain effect the entire time, and that was really annoying. What I'm thinking of lately is if I could find a dancer that could somehow assist with terrain cleansing, but that would mean I'd have to give Triandra deadly miasma and then allow her to attack. I don't really want Triandra attacking. So here we go with the Byleth here. This was also another thing this was a good defense. I perhaps failed to mention that this was a relatively good defense in all things considered. This threat range here is actually rather large. There's a trap here that if you aren't paying attention, you can get caught by, with Byleth having the +1 movement, which is actually really easy to overlook because you see everything in this special skills and then you forget to look at the ring. Which is easily overlooked because all of them are blue, and sometimes if you're not paying close attention, you forget which one is which. So yeah, Sigurd ring on this Byleth here gives him the extra movement and allows him to cover a bit of extra space, so he's easily able to snipe one of your units if you just sit here. Yes, and also of course Veronica has the Lin ring, so that's some additional range on the other side of the map as well. So yeah, it is a challenging map. Probably you could try to tank this if you have the ice terrain as yourself, which would have prevented them from warping down and attacking you as well. Which is also there's a rally here that will allow them to get particularly far, but you'd probably want to bait Veronica. Hopefully you win that speed check and you're able to take her out with 2 or 4 hits. Well, speed check would mean you win the 4 hits, so naturally. But yeah, good defense, but ultimately attacking into it failed because of the ice terrain and me not positioning Peony properly. But I want to blame the ice terrain more, because if it wasn't in the game, then I would have been able to cancel all over the place and I would have gotten the dance off with Peony, because I would have just been able to cancel into an area that Peony was in or closer to Peony. Essentially, she stays right where you see her right now, and that's just not a good spot for her to be in, for her to contribute to the attack. Or maybe I should have just started the attack on the right-hand side, but then the terrain is there, so there's a lot to consider. I essentially started the attack closer on the side that Byleth was on, because there's an opening there that was free of the terrain. And then also I was going to go up that side where the ice wasn't. It just made sense. Looking at it, it kind of made sense to go there, but hindsight probably was better to attack from Veronica's side. I don't know. Either way, might have even ended up in the same situation, to be quite honest. And also I wasted a couple of dances trying to take out Jimbro here. And also I wasted Triandra's dance, to be specific. There is a point in the game, in the match, where Triandra is on the map and she's able to dance, and I actually wasted that dance on the or I should have used Peony's dance at that time instead of Triandra's, and that was a mistake as well. So yeah, 2 rather large errors, but I had enough actions to make it work, and in the end, it amounted to nothing, which was the frustrating part because this match took at least 45 minutes. I fell asleep and woke back up trying to clear this map. Yeah, so it was just a lot of wasted time and wasted effort, unfortunately. On my part, probably, like if you know that you're, well, I guess it wasn't annoying that you're going to lose thing. It was just, you know, I played badly in the terrain. I blame the terrain. Those two things that really led to it. Yeah. That aside, I don't know, man. I like this combination of units. You see Tree Man here. Oh, he's bonus, right? Is he? I think he is. I forget. Stats. Looks like he's bonus. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. But I think he's still, like, regardless of whatever. I don't know if we're gonna get a better Dark Mythic. And even if we do, I mean, Boulder is great, but I mean, who's gonna partner her? You know, I don't like the fact that Tree Man is good, but I would swap him out for someone that had a bit more mobility. The assigned decoy is fantastic, but if I could, like, get something else, like someone that was a little bit more offensive. I don't need, essentially, there's 3 armored units here, and you don't need all 3 of them. So unless you're gonna, which is the problem that I've ran into, I've been running Tree Man as a save, which I actually don't want to, but he does so much that it's hard for me to remove him from the team. So yeah, if we get another mythic that offers more offensive capabilities, I'd probably swap him out for that. Because his Tree Man's thing is really good for people that are trying to tank into you, but we're not necessarily in a tanking meta. And also you can play around it if you position properly. If we had another more offensive mythic, then, you know, that would give me another option in terms of attacking. But currently that's not really the case, or even just another supportive mythic that offered a different, that was more mobile, essentially. It's really because of his limited movement that he's, you know, for me, not someone that I would like to continue running, but I don't really have another choice, so I'm going to keep running him. Yeah, that's just where I am with Tree Man on defense for Dark Season.
You have orders?
Trap. The terrain covering the traps, I've said this before, I think this is fantastic. The ice in particular, because I love the idea of having ice on top of a trap that is real, because you can break it and then you still have to engage with that trap, or potentially still have to engage on that trap. It's just an additional thing that you have to do, and it wastes his actions. I would have liked if IS leaned more into this type of play and counterplay, instead of just stopping you from attacking entirely. I would have preferred this, or I would have preferred more things that did this. But I don't really know, like, what that would look like. Or just upgrade the traps or add some different types of traps. I don't know, but I would have preferred that instead of them, you know, just preventing us from attacking altogether. But yeah, that's pretty much my assessment of this entire defense, of what's going to happen. I guess for now you can just kick back and watch how, you know, it unfolds. It's still, you know, entertaining, and you can see where my mistakes happened and, you know, see what you would do to avoid it. This is a really decent threat range to have for a defense. There's nothing wrong with this.
Name a target.
Personally, I think that move with Hearthfulger moving her 1 up there would have been helpful, but I was really thinking about the positioning for the Lucina effect. I wanted to get to Hearthfulger as well, so that's why I kind of just moved her back there. But I don't know, it probably would have been better. It probably actually would have been better, because in the end I didn't do the Lucina play there because Triandra popped up in that spot because I forgot that would happen, and it kind of ruined it for me. So now I have to figure out where to do the swap from, if I should just do the swap on Triandra. I still need to get
name a target.
I still need to get what's her face, further up the map because she's actually all the way in the back now, which is not great. This play here was wasted movement. And then this dance here, I should have used Peony. That's where I think I went wrong the most, or made the biggest mistake, I think. I should have used Peony there for that dance, even though I have no idea how I would have gotten Peony over there unless I use Hertzfelger to reposition and then Kanto, and then yeah, it was a whole different play. But that was not done. This is what we ended up with, and Peony is essentially stuck over here. She can't Winds of Mercy in because, you know, you would need pass to get past the terrain, which is another thing that we have to now consider because it's multiple things built into the terrain now, which means I'd have to had her kit would have been needed to be completely overhauled, which, to be fair, at this point you probably should overhaul your Peony's kit because most of what she has is really just geared towards dancing, so that's something I should consider. But I kind of just like rocking her with what she got. I don't know, I like the nostalgia of it all. I like keeping unique units unique. You know, it's something, or give her the +1 movement, but then I currently have the +1 movement on Plumeria, and I don't know how to rectify that because she kind of really wants the extra movement, Plumeria, and then also Shadow Shift, having that is really good as well. So, you know, what do you let go of there? For me personally, I'm sure it's not that hard of a decision for some of you, but for me, I can't see what I would let go of there to allow Peony to be more mobile. And also, she only gets her warping after she dances, which is a negative. This KO probably shouldn't have done this. I don't know, mistake or not, I don't know. I figured since action economy, Hertzfelger was not going to get an additional action, so it made sense to just use her there, I think. And then from there we can try to figure out everything else with the dance. But I think from here I was already behind because there's really no one that I could leave alive here, and I need to get to Lucina to get my additional actions, and I also need to break the structure. I think the easiest solution would have been to give Hertzfelger Deadly Miasma, but I'm still kind of attached to her C skill. I don't know what that's about, so
Name a target.
Everything kind of comes back to Deadly Miasma, I feel. Either that or that other A skill, the one that Alphonse has or came with, that I have no copies of. But then also I'm not even using my Alphonse, so maybe I should just fodder him. I don't know. I don't know. Something to consider as well. But yeah, we are already behind at this stage, and it's already an upward task to try to figure out how to get further up the map. And then also I wanted to get Lucina to get involved as well, because I could realize by this point that I'm going to need her action economy, her dual button to be specific, and also, you know, maybe the fire terrain would have helped clear something, but in the end it really didn't do anything. The flared sparrow, it was not very useful. Yeah, I keep coming back to that idea of getting another version of Flared Sparrow that is larger range, because what it's offering currently just isn't enough, if I'm being honest. It should be something a little bit more similar to at least what Deadly Miasma offers, or at the very least what the Alphonse one offers. I forget, what is it called? The Divine Vein Stone, the Stone Terrain offers. It should be something a little bit more similar to what the Stone Terrain offers at this point.
Are there got it?
Side note, I'm also really enjoying the what's that game mode called? The one that's going on right now, where you go up the towers and you pick the new skills. I forget what it's called, but I'm really enjoying it. Basically, I just picked all of my oldest units and put them in. Gave them all distant counter, of course, and then yeah, we're just picking up skills as we go along. I think the end boss is going to be Celica, which should actually be pretty easy because she just doesn't hit hard enough, unfortunately. That was always her problem. But yeah, it's been pretty fun collecting the skills and you know, watching everyone, old units at that, get better. Yeah, it's been really fun. I feel like a lot of people are blaming Crom,
Keep your guard.
the Arena Crom, for being able to pass around a bunch of skills that way. But I honestly don't even think it's that bad of a thing. And again, I still don't think he hits hard enough to actually make it matter. But yeah, it's plenty of fun. I'm using Hana, old Hana that has the armor effective sword. And I think I put Nyx in there just because I don't get to use her enough. Also another thing, man, I feel like Bridget, again, one of my favorite units from this year, and I just didn't get enough time with her to actually just play and have fun.
Show me what you can do.
I don't know, like, I don't even want to blame myself for that because I feel like the unit cycle is just so short. It's even shorter than 6. Yes, it's 6 months in terms of how long a unit will be good for, but then even within that time frame,
Name a target.
you get new units and you put down the units that you had 3 months ago because there's just something better now available. And it's just like you'd rather use this, or not even rather, you're forced to use it because there's some new mechanic that's been introduced, or the meta has changed. And Bridget used to be really good against Neathogger, the blue one, but we swapped from blue saves to red saves because of Black Knight, so Bridget can no longer really do anything because less damage and stuff like that. Comet, Arch Rival, that stuff didn't exist. Not that Arch Rival would have helped her in that matchup, but maybe Comet would. I'd love to see how she performs with Comet, to be honest, but her time has passed, it feels. So yeah, I've been using her in Tempest Trials just to get some use out of her before she inevitably has to be retired as well. Kind of the same thing that happened with that guy from Engage. Diamond's brother. I forget his name, but I still think he's really good. He just needs a better sword. Bo. Alchrist. I really like that Alchrist, and he hit pretty hard because of what his B skill had to offer. And I don't even think it's even that great anymore, the B skill. I still really like Dark Bow because of the Desperation, but it probably doesn't matter anymore because Hardy Baron is on pretty much every save now. So, I don't know, man. I feel so many. I feel like we're discussing, what will lead to the end of the game first, because there's so many different things that could potentially do it. And not enough things that will, potentially help save the game.
Are there you have orders?
Yeah. I don't know. For me personally, I still think it's the increased is Camilla. It's baby Camilla. For me personally, I think that's where the whole problem really not started, but definitely where it got its worst. And there's just no coming back from that. Well, we could have come back from it, but they decided to lean into it. And yeah, that's definitely a choice that IS made. So yeah. Well, here you're seeing me get stuck. I gotta take out 3 units. Well, I was thinking of maybe leaving Boulder alive. Veronica has too much range, and I can't stop her. Byleth also has too much range. And Boulder, maybe we could figure out a way to tank her. But yeah, Peony is stuck, as you can see. Not able to dance anyone, and just not a lot that I can do to rectify the current situation. So this is what I ended up doing, which, I don't know, 50-50 in terms of whether or not this was the right play. But if the Flame Terrain was larger, I could have stopped Veronica. But yeah, yeah, unfortunate. So yeah, this is pretty much GG's right here. Yeah, I was very frustrated at the end of this. Just saying that again, because a lot of time went into it. But it's my own fault, I think, as well as I blame the terrain. Reiterating that point. In terms of anime, I always like to include this. I think I mentioned that I'm watching My Hero Academia season 7, and I'm gonna go straight into season 8.
Say the word.
Man, some of the fights were so good. Nostalgia, they hit so hard, man. But it's interesting watching it resolve or watching. I didn't read the ending, so I'm just watching it now to see how the ending will be.
All right.
It's interesting, and I can see some of the points that led to people being frustrated and unsatisfied with how it was wrapped up. I can definitely see it, and it feels a bit off.
Don't rush in.
So far for season 7, the fights, or at least the one that I've seen so far, kind of ended pretty quickly. He bodied Captain America pretty easily. Even though to his detriment, he did take significant damage. I've kind of fallen out of love with the idea of having multiple fights in multiple different areas where you separate because the groups are so large, so you separate all of them and let them have their own little mini tournament arc. Kind of fallen out of love with that. But it's a big thing in anime and it's going to keep happening, so, not much I can do about it, but that was the loss, man. GG's, you got me.